do that. All right, we're just getting all set up on all of the different platforms. So.
Okay, thanks for all.
There we go. Working. Awesome. Hey guys, it's Lara Rockefeller with Mortgages Made Easy, powered by Premier Mortgage Center. And I'm here today at Wishbone Brewery in Waterford with the SBF Realty team from Remax of Erie Shores. And we're just going to do a little market update and chat about some of the questions that were coming in from some of you guys. And you guys have some questions about what's going on with the housing market and what's going on with mortgage rates. And
yeah.
Where should we start? Is there any Norfolk stats about like what's been happening the last couple months or the last few weeks really?
The market the last few weeks in Norfolk has been slowing down quite a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not getting the big
With the competing offers.
yeah, things are sitting a little longer. Like it's not dead by any stretch, but
No.
it's starting to slow down a little bit. Which
So are we
is
still
nice.
seeing like listings come out?
Oh, tons of
Way
listings.
more listings, yeah.
Okay.
Definitely more listings are coming out.
So it's probably still maybe a good time if you are in the housing market, like if you are shopping for a house, then to get out there and look, because if there are more listings, that's...
For sure. Yeah, I feel like we had a lot of buyers that kind of, especially at the beginning of the year there, dropped off, and we're kind of just going to wait out the market.
Of buyer fatigue, right?
Oh, yeah.
I'm tired of
Getting getting
competing.
beaten out of offers. They're putting, tons of offers in, and you're calling them every time, telling them they didn't make it. So now's a good time. Now's a good time to get back out there and take a look. And
that's really disheartening, is when you're looked at 40 houses or 50 houses and don't win any. So
no doubt.
I'm definitely noticing from like even my clients that they're saying that it's just been a little bit easier to try and win their houses lately. So
yeah, for sure.
So that's good. So yeah, the market I definitely would say is shifting. Definitely shifting.
Yeah, you're not seeing as much of the holding off offers. Like that's starting to slow down. I think that in the next while will probably disappear.
Yeah, okay.
You're not going to see that as much.
So I don't know, maybe it might have something to do with mortgage rates going up. I mean, they are starting to go up from where they were obviously last year. I do think though that we were really spoiled last couple years with such low mortgage rates. That was not normal. That has never really been seen before. Rates have never been as low as they were in the pandemic. And now with everything that's going on, I guess with the Ukraine and with the war in Europe and with supply chain issues and China being in lockdown and all of these things and all inflation, it's the highest it's ever been since like the 80s really is what they're saying. It's just a perfect storm for lenders to say, yeah, we're going to raise rates a little bit. So everyone is talking about in the broker world that the Bank of Canada is probably going to raise interest rates again on June 1st. So we should expect to see that. I'm not sure if they're going to do another 0.5%. There's been talk of 0.75%, and then there's been talk of 0.25%. So it'd be interesting to see what happens June 1st. What that means for you is if you're in a adjustable rate mortgage, or a variable rate mortgage is another term, then yeah, your payment is going to go up probably a little bit. If you're in a true variable rate, so most of the big banks do a true variable, and what that means is they will adjust the amount of interest to principal that you're paying. So your payment might not actually change if you're in a true variable. However, they might extend the length of your mortgage. So, so, I mean, reach out and see if you talk to your mortgage agent or whoever your mortgage is with, and you can see what kind of mortgage it is. If you're in a fixed rate, though, that means nothing. Your payment will not change until the end of your term. Okay. So what can you think buyers should be doing right now? Like, is there any, or sellers, like if they're selling, are you getting a lot of nervous sellers right now, or?
I think sellers just need to kind of vary their expectations. I think a lot of sellers kind of now they think that they're going to be guaranteed 100 over asking with 20 offers and it's going to sell in 2 days. It's not happening as much anymore. So kind of bringing down that expectation with sellers has been a bit of a battle, I guess.
Yeah.
And then with buyers, this is kind of a better time for them. So it's kind of just managing those expectations with both sides, kind of with the coin here.
Yeah. And buyers make sure they get out and get pre-approved.
Absolutely.
They start looking.
Absolutely.
Yeah, get your ducks in a row kind of ahead of time.
Yeah.
So,
I don't think it's a time to back off though, really. I mean, I had a couple of people say that, like, oh, should I be waiting? No, I think if you are wanting to move, do it, right? Like, there's yes, interest rates have gone up from last year, but in the grand scheme of things, I mean, another percent or even another 2-3%, I mean, in the long run, it's really not going to make that much of a difference over the life of your mortgage. And if you're going to find that house that you're looking for, or that investment property, you know, or especially an investment property making you money, right? There's not really a point to panic. I mean, my grandparents paid 19% interest.
Yeah, I was gonna
Yeah.
say, this is totally different still.
yeah.
Well, not only that, like, I mean, they're not going to go down. They're only going to go up. So now's it's still now is the time
Exactly.
to do it.
Yeah.
And so if you wait, they're just going to go up. So
Yeah. Everyone's talking about like us heading towards a recession. So, I mean, if that does happen, then rates might come back down.
Yeah.
So you had mentioned in one of your videos everything that was happening with the rates, how they were rising,
Yep.
and you had mentioned some bond yields had some of the effects on
Yep.
it. So some people don't know
For sure.
what they are and why that's affecting. So
So a government bond yield is basically a very secure investment for a lender. So when lenders are looking over their financial year and they're thinking how they're going to get paid and, you know, where they're going to get their money from, yes, homeowners paying their mortgage is one way of income for them. But that's not always guaranteed. Some people will default. Not in Canada. That's very low. We don't normally default on our mortgages here. But yeah, it can happen. And so in order for them to predict stable income, they invest in bond yields, so government bonds. So it's very secure. It's 100% guaranteed to be repaid. And because of everything that's been going on in the world lately, bond yields are starting to rise. So when those prices go up, then lenders kind of set their fixed rates against that, and they will also raise their rates in correlation to bond yields going up. So fixed rates are set by like the shareholders of the lenders, right? So when they get together and they're having their conversations about how they're going to get paid when they start seeing things like that, and then it's uncertain for them, especially if we're heading to a recession. And if we hit that recession, like I said, normally rates will go down, so they're not going to make as much money. They're trying to get everything they can right now, kind of thing. So they're just kind of planning for the future, as we all should be. I think it's a good time now if you guys, you know, maybe take a look at your own budgets. See if there's any ways that you can be trimming the fat from your own expenses. Maybe cancel some of those Netflix or Disney accounts if you're not using them, right?
those
like
hidden
just
subscriptions,
yeah,
like,
exactly.
hide in your phone.
It's
that
a
you
good
forget
time
about.
just to do, you know, I recommend every 6 months or so, sit down with your own expenses, with your family or whoever, and just have a look and make sure that you are on track, because no one else is going to do that for you.
No.
Nobody. So it's good.
So as a first-time home buyer with these mortgage rates, what is your advice for them to be able to...
Yeah, nothing's not really changing that much, really. I mean, maybe what we qualify you at might be a little bit less, because how would we qualify you for a mortgage is we have to look at what's called the stress test, if you've heard that expression before. But basically it just means that we're qualifying you at a higher interest rate than what you're actually going to have as a mortgage. So we're already doing that. So you're already being qualified at a higher rate, right? Maybe looking at a variable rate mortgage if you can, because then we can... the stress test is either 5.25% or whatever your mortgage rate is plus 2%. So if you're looking at a fixed rate and it's 4.5, that means I have to qualify you at 6.5. So instead of maybe doing a fixed, if we're looking at a variable, I can still qualify you because variables are much lower. So we can qualify you at that lower rate, which gives you more purchase power. So, you know, just having conversations with whoever is doing your mortgage and making sure that you are, you know, getting the most bang for your buck kind of thing, and making sure they've looked at all of your documents and that you have been pre-approved properly, right?
Yes.
Yeah, knowing your budget is key. Yeah, no surprises.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Making sure that you're actually sending in documents and not just like doing like an online quick
Right.
approval too, right?
Yes.
Because things can come up closer to closing. Lenders can check your credit up until day of closing. So yep, right up until, I mean, are they? Maybe not. Why would they? They're probably not. But theoretically, they could. So just make sure that you've got everything in a row, right? Figured out.
So do you think you have an idea of where you see the rates capping
Oh, that's
at?
such a loaded question. I don't know. I don't think they're going to skyrocket. I mean, the government would have to step in at some point, right? They will not allow Canadians to lose their houses, I don't think. I mean, in my opinion, I would hope not. So I think they might go up a little bit more and then just kind of probably level out. That's what I'm thinking. So, yep. We're trying to get back to also like a pre-pandemic level. I mean, before the pandemic, prime was 3.7, and now we're sitting at 3.2. So I think they're just trying to get back to where they were before the pandemic, really, too, right? Get back on track. So.
Yeah, I think people have forgotten, like, because it's been so long since the pandemic, people have forgotten what it used to be like. It is, it's leveling out. Like, even in the real estate market, like, thinking back pre-pandemic, when everything was a bit calmer, it was a completely different world out there. So it does feel kind of nice to get back to that bit more calm.
Exactly.
Give people more time to think about what they want to buy, be able to get
inspections,
home inspections,
or conditions.
Yeah.
One thing I do let most of my clients or talk to them about is try and stay off the news. Okay, the news loves extremes. So we're going crazy high, or even during the pandemic, we're going to have negative interest rates. No, we're never going to have a negative interest rate. It's never going to be like that, and it's not going to be like 20%. I don't think, right? You know what I mean? So try and stay off the news, because the news loves for you to click on things. They want to just grab you to read that headline and click on the article. And they really love shock value. They like, that's how they make money, right? The news is a money maker as well, right? So we need to remember that.
Like at the beginning of the pandemic, when they were saying that the housing market was going to more or less die, like no one was going to sell, and then it just went absolutely insane.
Exactly. So we don't have a crystal ball. We don't know what's happening. I think taking a minute, pausing, looking at your own finances, your own family, making sure you're doing the best for the people around you that you're taking care of, and it's gonna be all right. It's gonna be good.
Oh yeah.
And talking to the professionals, like reach out to real estate agents or mortgage agents or anyone else,
your lawyer,
lawyers, just someone that is actually working day to day with this stuff, instead of like, you know, your uncle or your cousin who has been watching the news. Like, you need to get real opinions from people that are really
in the industry,
know what they're doing.
Especially as a first home buyer, I do find that happens so often. I will have many conversations with first home buyers. We have it all planned, figured out. They're loving it, and it's all good. And then they go and they talk to their uncle or something. Well, why'd you do that? Right? It's like, no, just you're figuring out your life, right? And you have to do what's right for you. And then let them know after you bought the house or something, right? So, what else you got for me? Was that it, Fallon?
I don't know. I guess I had, do you think that this is going to pop the housing market? But I guess we decided that it's probably just going to balance out.
I think, well, what they're predicting, or what they're saying, is as long as we continue with moving slowly, like things start to change slowly, like we don't all of a sudden quit, no more listings and nothing happens, then it'll burst. But they're more or less predicting more just a balancing out of things that,
people need places to live, and we still have a housing crisis.
Sure do.
There's a shortage that has not changed. So is it going to crash? I don't think so, in my opinion.
I don't think it will either. I think we'll just balance out, and we'll start to see listings and sales the way they used to be.
Which is not a bad thing.
No, it's not a bad thing at all.
No. And I think too, like Norfolk, Brantford, Brant County, it took a while. Like, they weren't growing as much as they should have been, probably, right? So now it's kind of like we've caught up to where pricing probably should have been maybe a couple of years ago, right? And we've had that growth, and that's good. Let's just maintain now. So.
And I think we will. Like, I think we did see a huge boom with building. I think they'll still continue to build, but it's not. I don't think it'll be as. It's slowing down a little bit. Like, it's leveling out where it's not so much every year. It's kinda, I think it'll slow down a little bit. Does that make sense?
I had one person ask, how do you feel about the government incentives to build all these homes?
I think it's fantastic. I think it's a fantastic idea. I think it's...
Let's see some action.
Yes. It's a little bit too little, kind of.
I think it's a little, too little, too late. I think they should have been doing it 3 years ago.
Right, like to say that, okay, the housing market is going to change, we're going to build all these houses in the next 5 to 10 years. Well, that doesn't help the person
that's not helping the people that are being evicted now, because, exactly.
Yeah, so I think that it's a great idea. I don't know if it's...
In practice,
let's see some action.
Yeah,
sure. I think that's going to be the thing.
Well, not only that, like, because you can see it around here too, the prices that even new builds, like you know, not this past February, the February before, when we were in the middle of the pandemic, people were flocking to new builds because they were essentially cheaper than to go buy a resale.
Yeah.
That's not the case anymore.
No.
Builders have caught on.
Yeah.
They're not stupid. They want to make that money too, and they're raising the prices of their houses as well.
Well, there's headlines of Toronto, people that bought in Toronto, and the builder said, no, you owe me a 200 more, right?
Yeah.
So make sure you're reading your contract when you're signing stuff like that, right?
Important.
So
yeah, you got to read through those contracts with a fine-tooth comb because there are hidden costs in there that you
Make sure you take them to your lawyer and get them checked over.
Yes.
They got a 10-day waiting period in a new build, so take it to your lawyer and get them to check it.
Absolutely. Cool. So we're going to probably do this again in a month, ladies, I think, right? Like we're going to try and make this a more regular occurrence. So if you guys have questions, shoot us a message. We'll link everyone's socials below for everyone. And yeah, we love to know your questions. And
yeah, it's always changing too. So
come on out to Wishbone, support our beautiful local brewery here. Tyler would love to sell you some beer. And we appreciate all your guys' time today. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks, Lara.
Cool.
We did it.
That was all right.
That was all right.
Good.
Yeah.
We should do that once a month, Lara.
I want to. I brought that up to, Ryan, so I guess Daryl now. I don't know if you want to type some stuff in.
Yeah, I think he's done. Is it June 1st?
Yeah.
But he's staying.
He's at the office for now. I think
He's at the office, like, selling real estate.
Yeah.